Well, greetings from the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota, the home to close to 100 classic and collectible cars. And today we're going to talk about a car, 1923 Packard. Ask the man who owns one. A phrase I used a little later, but we can use it today. Tell you more details in a minute. Well, greetings from the sales floor of Ellingson Motorcars here in Rogers, Minnesota, the home to close to 100 classic and collectible cars from everything from what we're going to talk about today, 1923 Packard, all the way up to the resto mods and the street rods. We have almost 100 in inventory. Take a look at our website at www.ellingsonmotorcars.com. We're going to do a complete walk around startup of this car, so you're going to want to watch the video from start to finish so you can get all the details of this magnificent collectible car. So today, this is a 1923 Packard Touring Sedan. It is absolutely the open car. It has the convertible top. It is really, really a special car in terms of number one, when have you ever seen one? Number two, the quality of the restoration is really, really nice. It was done a number of years ago, but has been in private collections, museums, things of that sort for a long time. So it is very, very correct. And I'm going to point out some of the things that make it correct. The only option really available for the 6-cylinder, such as this one is to have the artillery steel wheels. That was the only option that was available in 1923 for an upgrade for this particular model. A 220 model is what I do believe it is called, and it is a 126-inch wheelbase on this car, which is big in that sense. But look at the size of these wheels and these. I love the center caps with the Packard Motor Car Company on it. I mean, the reason they had these big tall tires you could actually go through snow, through terrible roads. The high profile tires and skinny, they were really, really good for inclement weather or whatever. Because in those days, you know, that's what you had. You had to drive on any road conditions they had. And this is no exception. And that is one of the reasons why they have the bigger wheels and tires on these cars. Another thing to make this car very, very correct, which I always notice, is when you're looking at something like this to add to your collection, you want it to be as correct as possible. It is all nickel plating. There was no chrome plating in 1923. That didn't come to about 1929. So you have the nickel plating on the headlights, the grille shell, and any of the other parts of the car as well. This is always one of the things. Did they have temperature gauges in 1923 inside the car? No. They had a motometer. You could actually be behind the wheel and you could look out, and it's kind of like a temperature thermometer deal. You can see what engine temperature your car is operating at. Take a look at this engine. It's a nice, complete engine compartment as the way it came in 1923. Only improvement that we have done to the car, it does have an electric fuel pump. And I'll tell you what, that just makes these cars much more quote-unquote reliable, because they didn't really have fuel pumps in those days, vacuum canisters and whatever. It just makes it much better. You'll notice how nice it starts in our cold startup that we will have on this video as well. Going back to the car, it's a great color combination. I love the belt line. Always has an accent color, really nice. Leather driver's seat. Take a look at the inside of this car. I mean, the dash is beautiful. I mean, all the original instrumentation, clocks were kind of a specialty thing. This one actually has a clock. Beautiful steering wheel as well with the throttle and spark advance right there. You know, for a convertible, this is, you know, a lot of cars back then, the enclosed cars were just starting to come on, and people were really still enjoying some of these open cars. Granted, not so good in Minnesota winters perhaps, but a lot of times these cars were very specialty cars, because take a look at that back seat. I mean, you got leg room that just won't quit. I mean, you could have Andre the Giant sitting in the back seat of this car, and you would still have plenty of room for him. Beautiful canvas top. Has a boot as well. I like the little wing windows here on this. People always look at, well, what did they use for wipers? Well, In 1923, it was hand operated. Granted, you probably didn't want to take this car out in too much inclement weather just because, but that was what they had. And of course, air conditioning is your cowl vent right there, and you could actually open the windshield. That's your air conditioning for 1923. 1923 Packards were, they were starting to be quite the known manufacturer in the United States. They were gaining popularity, and they were becoming more luxury orientated. And this is one of those really, really beautiful cars. You will find all of our stuff also on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Give us a like, leave us a comment, or subscribe. You'll find interesting articles and stories of the cars that we currently have in stock and some of the stuff we've had in the past. That's also really, really interesting. But yeah, they had the back doors were suicide doors. You open them up this way, easy to get in and out of. These are the holders when you put the top down. They're all manually operated. You put the top down and you clamp them here. And we do have, like I said, we have a boot for this car as well. Spare tire is on the back. It's always one of those things. They also have bumpers front and rear. A lot of these cars didn't even come with bumpers, and that was something, but Packard, that was considered one of their standard items on their particular cars. The gas gauge, rather than having it in the instrument panel, is out at the gas tank in the back yet in 1923. Just one of those little details that you find interesting about this car. So if you're looking for something to add to a collection, you want something out of the 20s that's really spectacular, something that you can actually get in and drive, we've got it right here at Ellingson's. Take a look. Like I said, it's just so well done. It would really add to someone's collection. Maybe you're not a Packard lover, but maybe you are. Maybe not. We're going to get you one right here that you are going to fall in love with, because this is really, really a nice example. As we said, ask the man who owns one was a phrase that came out a little later, but you know what? Packards are really special back in 1923, and they're really special today as well. So take a look. Come on down to Ellingson's. We're open Monday through Friday. Come on down. We're here from 10 to 5, and Saturdays 10 to 4. Come on down. We'd love to have you come and look at it in person. If you have any other questions, give us a call. We'd love to tell you as many details as we possibly can about this car and any of our other really nice cars in stock. So there you go. There's our 1923 Packard. We'll talk to you next time.